Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, President and CEO of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, Jim, it's always good to be back on the show.
And I imagine you still have some great news for us.
Well, I certainly have some great updates. This was a great week for the company, and we've traded a lot of shares. We're at new levels, and it looks like we're building a base here. Even the chartists love us. There's not much more I can say about that, except that, now I think we're into two categories, and again, that's the recycling of lithium-ion batteries and the cobalt story, because we'll be able to reclaim as much cobalt as the battery contains, and that's going to be significant considering there's about 45,000 tons a year of cobalt used in these electric vehicle batteries. Not that they're all going to hit the market at one time, but they eventually will hit the market. And, by that time, we should have a few hundred of those scattered around the country, recycling plants, because the best way to operate, Jim, build a portable plant that can treat and recycle the lithium-ion batteries so it can go where the batteries accumulate. And why do I say that? Because we have conditions out there where you have to get permitted just to move the battery the way it exists today. When it's spent, there's all kinds of hazardous permits that you have to go through. If you're crossing provincial lines, state lines, country lines, you fall into another category of regulations, and you have to meet all those regulations to get it to the recycling plant. But if you can bring the recycling plant to where most of the batteries are, you can get away from all that. And I think people are beginning to realize this. So that's part of our big plan, is to do that. But I'd like to comment on the article we had from Bloomberg last week, in which they talked about us being a producer of cobalt without mining, and they talked about our recycling. This has moved the optics of recycling and the optics of what we're going to be recycling to a new level, a level that we tried to bring it to through our own efforts for a long time. But now people are recognizing that we could be a very significant player out there when it comes to the cathode materials. And I talk about cobalt, and why shouldn't I? It's $70,000 a ton today. And, that's the main driver to drive huge profits to the company bottom line. The longer cobalt goes up, the more potential profits are out there. So I was talking to one of our advisors, Dan McGroarty, who's done a lot of media work for government and for presidents and different fields of expertise, and he was telling me that that he couldn't believe that we got mentioned by Bloomberg because of our market cap size. And so that tells you that, hey, we've got credibility in some people's eyes. I just thought I'd bring that up because Dan said that it should be a point that's made. Not many companies of our size will ever end up being talked about by Bloomberg, unless we're a scandal, and we don't want to be that. So this weekend is coming up. I know I got one Christmas party to go to, and I think that everybody is starting to shut down. I know that people want to know what's happening with the quote and the plans for moving ahead with the pilot plant. Well, Cometco are working diligently on that, but right now is not just them, but a lot of companies out there are being, have to, for their own PR, have to attend all kinds of Christmas parties and have their own Christmas party and on and on and on. So this is generally the period where things slow down a bit, but I expect that hopefully next week sometime we'll have something out on that. And just to let everybody know that we're not sitting back. What's happened to us this week is I've had calls from all over the world. I've had specifically more emails and calls because everybody communicates through the computer today and through emails or messages. And we've had some very interesting, very exciting interest from various companies out there. And, you know, whether it's in the European market or whether it's in the U.S. or it's in China, we're getting a lot of attention over there. So what does that mean? Well, you know, I'm an old hand at talking to people from all over the world, and until something happens, nothing happens. But the reality is, you know, we're getting more and more attention. People are beginning to realize that maybe they should be involved. Maybe they should somehow share in the future of the company. And the way to do that would be to step up to the plate with some heavy money and help us move through the next couple of stages. So I think that's coming closer to reality than anything else. We're getting some interesting propositions on financing. And, you know, just until something happens, I won't say much more about that. But, you know, I'm very encouraged by the week. I think the stock closed nicely. And, you know, we did retreat back about 50%, which is probably very healthy for the market. And so where we go from here, I don't know. I won't predict where the price goes, but certainly we're in a whole new life cycle of the company.
Larry, for new listeners, can you explain what American Manganese does?
American Manganese has taken an existing technology in its portfolio and expanded upon that, and that was the recovery of manganese from very low-grade deposit, which is a fully patented project in the United States, Canada, and the United States, China, and South Africa. And we have expanded that technology to include the cathode materials, specifically cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum, to the recycling where we can recover 100% of those. And the thing again that I'm going to always mention in any talk that I give is that ours is a closed-loop solution. It's the environmental solution at the end of the life cycle for the batteries that the EV cars are trying to achieve, and of course to pass on to the public that they're socially conscious of the environment. So American Manganese trades on the the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. It trades in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. It trades on the German exchange, Frankfurt, under the symbol of 2AM, and which, by the way, has changed their regulations, and we've updated and paid the fees and everything else to continue to be listed on Frankfurt. And so, because we're starting to expand our market in that area. So and if anybody wants to do some due diligence and investigate the company, we try to keep a website that's friendly and where you can pull up everything that you need at AmericanManganeseInc.com. If you have any questions, you can email me at lreaugh, REAUGH, at AMYMN.com, or you can phone me at 778-574-4444.
Larry, thanks for the update.
You're welcome, Jim.
We've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, President and CEO of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. We were chatting on December 8th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.